Man, welcome to another episode of Humble Doses, episode 2. I'm super excited about this because I got this dude. So here's the story. I went to celebrate Recovery Thursday. Love that place. Love the meeting, and it was a fun meeting. And then we went to our, we call them open shares, little small groups that we have after the large group meeting. And I went in there, and then I saw this dude who I think I seen him around, but I didn't really, I haven't met him personally or connected with him. And he's been coming there, and he was leading the group. And I'm like, oh man, this dude is poised. He's articulating well, and he's got this really welcoming vibe. And I was like, man, this guy's cool. His name was Theo, or he called himself Theo. And I was like, this is awesome. So then we did our open share where all the men come in, they're vulnerable, they share what's been going on, or they talk about what they heard in large group, and it was super powerful. And then after the meeting, I go out in the lobby and I'm sitting here talking. We call it like Connection Cafe, or what else do they call it? They call it, I think they call it like, Connection Cafe in some places, but this is where you go and connect and you meet with other men, exchange phone numbers and things like that. Well, I saw him sitting there and we started, chopping it up, and we started talking, and he's like, oh, you do videography? And he was like being inquisitive about my work, and he seemed really excited about it. And I was like, yeah, man, I love it. I love doing what I do, and who we do it for is just amazing. And then he's like, yeah, I do the same thing. I'm kind of into it, and I'm a creator, and I have a YouTube channel. I was like, what? So do I. And we just started. I was like, I just started this series called The Humble Dose, and I was like, you need to be a guest, man. He's like, yeah, let's do it, man. Let's connect. And so I'm really excited. I got my boy here, episode 2. His name's Theodore Faulk. I forgot to do my normal intro, so I'll go ahead and do it now. Like, I take a sip of my coffee. Ariga, that's a mighty good coupé. And without further ado, let me stop talking and bring my boy on. Here he is, Theodore Faulk.
What's going on, man?
What's up, man?
Good to see you. Yes, sir.
Yeah, I am super excited to have you on as my second guest.
Yeah.
This is episode 2. You're my second guest.
Yeah, man, I'm honored.
Yeah, man. And it's awesome to me. Remote guest. My first guest was remote. His name's David. Really solid dude. And but having somebody in-house, being able to see your face and connect with you, it brings it to another level for me. So I'm really appreciative that you decided to come on and be a guest. So yeah, man. So how you been?
Man, I've been good, man. Since the meeting shoot, man, I've been really excited just thinking about, doing this. I was like, man, I don't know. I've never done anything like this before. And I was like, this is gonna be official. I'm already knowing. I come in and it's just like boom, 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 boom. I've never seen the setup, so it's a crazy setup. Yeah, you know what you're doing. So,
I appreciate it, man.
Yeah, man, of course.
Yeah. Tell me a little bit about, let me just. You guys got to bear with me a little bit because I don't even know what camera I'm talking to. This camera. So you guys got to bear with me. I have no producer, anybody. I'm solo dolo besides my guest. So I'm running everything here. I got a switcher, so there may be some things where I'm trying to having to switch and trying to figure out audio and things like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so tell me a little bit about your journey, what got you, down the path of Celebrate Recovery, your faith, all that thing. Because I've watched a video, and I'm going to share with you guys a little bit on his YouTube channel. Yeah. And, you'll get to see some of those videos that I watched. But, yeah, just go ahead and share with me, man.
Of course, brother. Yeah, man. Shoot. So, I've been a Christian, man, my whole life, pretty much, man. But, I used to go to church, and family would take me in, and it was cool and stuff. But I used to have a lot of questions. And I feel like people wouldn't answer them how I wanted them to be answered. Like, I'm asking you questions, and why aren't you answering my questions? Probably last year, man, I had been feeling like this pull, almost like this spiritual pull towards the church, towards God, man. I was cooked in addictions. Like I was a drug addict, alcohol addict, man. I'm deep in it, man. I came to CR originally for that, and also lust, just having issues with all those different areas, man. And it was it took me kind of like surrendering, coming down to my knees and like saying, God, I need you, you know? And I felt like he drew me to Celebrate Recovery. And since then, since my first time going there, man, it was magical. I felt like these burdens be lifted off me as if God was like holding on to them for me. And so, man, that's what brought me to Celebrate Recovery. That's where my faith is. And man, I got to a step study shortly after that. Step study is like this 9-10 month thing where you go in, you work in this step program, you're doing, you know, step 1 through 12, which is just learning about how to live this life of recovery. And that changed everything. Having a community of brothers, and oh man, I mean, I'm so excited to even go into another one because it was so powerful. It affected my heart so much and game changing for real.
Well, how long have you been doing it?
It's been a year now.
Years?
It's been a year.
Oh, that's right. You just picked up your year
my year chip.
Oh,
yeah.
Man.
Yes.
Congrats on that, too.
Thank you, brother.
Being that beacon of hope for other men, you know, including, you know, people who've been in it a minute. It's I haven't been in it that long, you know. I'm coming up on 3 years, but no fronts. But being in it a year, being that beacon of hope for other men, especially, you know, being vulnerable like you are and sharing your story, man, it's just, that's where the magic happens, man. That's where God steps in and, you know, allows us to like let our guard down and be like, oh man, I can be vulnerable. This is a safe place. So yeah, I really, you know, like I said, when I walked in the room, I don't know if I've seen you lead another group before, but I was like, oh, we got somebody here, you know. I haven't quite officially met you yet. I mean, I've seen you around, and then I was like, oh, you're poised, you know, you got a very welcoming demeanor to you, and I was like, okay, this dude's, he's a good leader, man, leading a small group. Are you gonna think about leading a step study?
Yes, absolutely, man. Man, ever since I was in one, I was like, this is gonna be a step I gotta take. It was like, I don't know why. It's like I want to give back. I mean, I know why, because it was like given to me freely. It was given to me freely, and so I just so badly want to just give it back to somebody else because I seen what it did for me. I know it. I just know it can do something amazing, astounding for somebody else, man.
Yeah, and that night was a lot of heavy stuff. You know, we had a couple guys in there that were going through it.
Yeah, man.
You know, and having you, you know, with your poised demeanor and everything, it was just really. I think people really connected with that, and so
that,
yeah. But and then when we got to talking, you know, it seemed like you were pretty excited the fact that I was a videographer and editor because you touched base with me afterwards, and I was like, oh yeah, man. And I still get excited about it. Like sometimes I pinch myself because like I don't know if it's like for me. Sometimes, and I don't know if you've ever struggled with imposter syndrome or anything like that, but sometimes I'm like, dang, I get paid to do this amazing job. And sometimes not that I feel guilty because God has blessed me, but for a lot of times I was just like, I can't believe this is happening in my life. Like I have an opportunity to be a creative, get paid and support my family. Yeah. And the company that I work for, we're in the studio at the company I work for. They've just been amazing to me, man. Yeah. And a little bit about that story is like I moved to Arizona in 2021. Me and my wife and our small son. At the time, he wasn't even a year old. We moved here. And at that point, I'd say I had 4 years of recovery, 1 year in sobriety, but I started to slip because I moved from Alaska where I was pretty, plugged into my community there. I had a community there, both in recovery and then in a church because I worked for a church. Yeah. And so, I felt like when I came here, I took my recovery off the radar, bro. Like, I just that's it. I'm good. Like, and that's a trap, man. Yeah. Like taking your recovery off the radar and not allowing it to be a permanent fixture. Yeah. I think that's where the devil comes in and plants seeds in my head, and he's like, "Oh yeah, you got this. You don't need anybody." And that wasn't even true, man. And it was a dangerous place for me to be. But I got the job shortly after 2 months or 3 months of moving here. I was able to get hired here at Small Giants. Yeah. And then I think, I was white knuckling it, because I started having thoughts of drinking. Where I work, it's a lot of young people, and they don't have the issues I have. Like, they can control it. I couldn't, and I knew I couldn't. But I started playing around with the ideas, like, oh man, my life is blessed now. Like, I'm good. I'm sober. Been sober for 5 years. Like, what's to say I can't have a beer now, or whatever. Those thoughts happening.
Yeah.
Well, then fast forward, I relapsed in 2022, and Small Giants. They were good to me. Like, the owner of the company was like, look, if you're willing to go get help, go get help. You don't have to worry about your job. Your job will be here after you go get help.
Yeah.
Not a lot of companies would do that.
Right.
And the owner of the company, a lot of people in the company are faith-based, in their hearts. And they, and that's the foundation that this company was built on.
Yeah.
So having somebody like actually support me and walk with me instead of like, you're out, was just huge to me. And you think I would get it, but I didn't get it. Like, unfortunately, I went to treatment. I came back. It was like a 24-day treatment place. I went there. I came back. And, started getting plugged into Celebrate Recovery.
Yeah.
That's when my journey started with CR. And I didn't know anything about CR before that.
Yeah.
And so, but I wasn't plugged in, man. Like, I was just showing up, leaving, not making connection.
Yeah.
Just listening to whatever was being said that night, not even staying for open shares, I just bounced. And then I end up relapsing again after 6 months. And then that's what led me to the Celebrate Recovery at the Gilbert campus, because Thursdays worked better for me. And it was just, again, the owner of the company, they showed me grace. They allowed me to, like, work on myself, get help, supported me 100%. And it's just been tremendous. So that's why I really love this company. I love the people that work here, and it's just been a blessing to me and my family.
Yeah.
Because at the time, I was, the breadwinner. My wife was a stay-at-home mom, and, that's what she did. And so she was dependent on me showing up and doing what I needed to do. But when I'm sick and I'm in addiction, it's kind of hard for you to show up.
Yeah, man.
And so, but, that journey lasted. I got plugged in, went to a step study. And it was beautiful, man. Like, it was amazing. Did the step study, but I relapsed in the step study. And at that point I had like 7 or 8 months, and then I relapsed on the 4th step, which is a heavy step to go through.
Yep.
And but again, Small Giants showed me grace. My wife didn't show me grace, well, she did later, but at that time she was like, you're gone. Like, I need you out of the house. You're not safe for the kids. You're not. And my world was just coming undone, man.
Yeah.
And it was a scary place for me during those times. But I had a sponsor. I had a community. And one of the things that I realized along the way is no matter how far down the road of recovery you are, the ditch is always right there.
Always.
And you could be 21 years down, and I've seen guys go out after 21 years and go in the ditch. But for me, going in the ditch now means I have a group of accountability brothers. I have a sponsor to help me get out of the ditch.
Yes.
And get back on the rails, man.
Yeah.
And that's what I didn't go out long this last relapse. I mean, one day is long enough, but I didn't go out like I normally do. Sometimes I go out, I'm gone for years, bro. Like, I'm out. That didn't happen this time. I was only gone for like a week. Yeah. Maybe like a week at most, if that. And then my sponsor's like, dust yourself off, pick up your tools, get back in that step study if your accountability brothers will let you. And the people who were leading the group, they all let me come back, finish the step study, which was amazing. And I'm going on almost 3 years now, man. So it's been a blessing. Yeah, praise God, man. Yeah.
Let's give a round of applause. Yeah, man.
So, yeah. I don't want to spend the whole time talking about myself, but, just so you know a little bit of my backstory, because we really don't know each other that well, man. And so this is an opportunity for me to kind of give you a little bit of my story, too. I know all the people that tune in my channel kind of know my story because I've shared it quite a bit. But, tell me like how your journey in faith was. You said you've been a Christian. But, like, how did that journey started? Because I wasn't a Christian. I didn't grow up that way. My mom became a Christian later in her life.
Mm-hmm.
She always was praying for me,
Yeah.
like wanting me to find a relationship with God, but I never did. I didn't get baptized until 2017.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the road, that's when my faith really started getting a hold of me. And I knew like there is a God just because of the things that were happening in my life. So what about you, man? Like,
now, let me tell you something. I feel like I've always known that there was a God, just because like I've seen everything that happened in my life. One of the things I'm actually writing about this in my little testimony right now, man. It's one of the things that brought me to Jesus was actually the death of my father, man. It was the death of my dad, man. He had lung cancer when I was a kid, man, and I know it took when I was young, he had lung cancer, and it took me some time to get kind of like through that. Like it wrecked me for years, man. Years of depression, and through high school and through the military and through all that, man. I was like literally unable to really cope with that fact that God would not heal my father. That was one thing I really was messed up about. I was like, God, why would you not heal my dad? My dad, he was this great guy. He took care of people, all these things, man. And I just think about now, like looking back, and I'm like, I don't like a big thing about, I think my faith is perspective now. Because I can look at the exact same moment and I can look at it from an entirely different angle. If God gives me the grace, I can look at it from somewhat of like an angle that he looks at it from. If he gives me the grace to see it, and I'm like looking at it and I'm like, wow, God, you were there. He had a deathbed conversion to Jesus, literally like that, like a couple of days before he died. He got converted to Christianity, and he got sent up to heaven. And it was like God was taking all of that pain that he was going through. That man was fighting cancer for probably like, I don't know, like probably like 6 years or something, fighting lung cancer. And he had one lung. That man was in pain, like bad pain. And he was fighting it for me to try and stay alive for me. And I'm like, no, he probably, to be honest, he was probably was a bit too far gone, no matter what, because he had one lung. He was on an oxygen tank. He was really like bad. It was bad for a while, and that was the best thing for him. And like looking back on that, I'm like, no, wait a minute, Jesus. I feel like only God could orchestrate such a rescue story for him. And then like just thinking about that, and it made me think, I'm like, God, if you're real, like I want to know you.
Yeah.
And I never knew that having a relationship with God was personal. I feel like they didn't teach me that in Baptist, my Baptist Sunday school. They didn't teach me that. They taught me about David. They taught me about Goliath. They taught me about, what do you call it? Oh, what's the one? Jonah and the whale. That's what they taught me about. They didn't teach me that you could have a personal relationship with God, that he can orchestrate your life. He does orchestrate your life. He cares about every little thing you go through. He cares. He has every hair on your head numbered. They don't tell you that.
Yeah.
They don't tell you. I mean, I feel like maybe now the message is getting out there. Maybe I was at the wrong sermons or something. So that's how it's kind of been. Yeah, man.
Yeah, because you're right. And to me, there's a huge difference in religion and religious facets.
Yeah.
Then to me, one of the most powerful things that I heard, because I went to a church that was in Anchorage, Alaska, called Heart of the City. It's a church I worked for.
Right.
It was a basement recovery church. It was gritty. It was like everybody had tattoos. It was just like there was a lot of healing and a lot of people coming to Jesus in that church. Yeah. And for me, one of the things that the pastor would always say, it's relational. It's not religion, it's not religious, it's relational. Yeah. There's just the key aspects, and that's why I connected so much with Sun Valley, because Chad says it all the time. Yeah. He says, love God, love people. Yep. And that's what the pastor at my church said too. You know, it's just love God and love people, man. And you got it. Like, that's it. Everything is there. You don't have, I mean, there's like, people come to church for community. Like, they come to celebrate as a community together, but it's just a building. You know, the pastor is just another man, another human being.
Amen.
You know, he's not my savior. I know who my savior is. He's not that. And a lot of times I think with religion and religious acts and things like that, people place people on pedestals.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, they're just people.
Amen.
And I had to really separate that because, you know, I was telling my mom and she was praying for me. She's like, Jason, I've been praying for you. You need to come to church. Like, come to church with me. Like, get connected, get in the community.
Yeah.
I was like, Mom, all those people are a bunch of hypocrites, man. They have no humility. They're just a bunch of. And then she's like, no, Jason, we're all broken.
Yes.
We're all hypocrites. You're a hypocrite. Like, that's why we're going to church.
Amen.
And I was like, oh, ding, ding, ding. Like, light bulbs started going off in my head, man. And I was like, okay, I tried everything else myself. Like, I wasn't, you know, it's like that whole, like, you seen that picture, that meme where, you know, there's a bridge there and there's a gap and it's just, and then they're like, why is that gap not filled? I don't know if you ever see, I'll try to find it and maybe send it to you.
Okay.
But it looks like a one plateau over here, another plateau, and there's this gap. That's kind of how my life was. There was just a gap. I was mentally good, like I was physically good. Like, you know, financially I'm good, like, but there was still something missing, and that's that spiritual piece. And what it is, and I saw the picture, and it was a cross that filled the gap, and that was a way to get across. And I thought that was like dope. I was like, okay, yeah, man. That's the pillar that I need to start focus on, because I tried myself, man.
Yes.
And I failed.
Yes.
And I saw what, you know, happened to me when I tried to, like, you know, trying to control everything, drive the bus, as they say. And I drove that bus right off a cliff, you know, ended up with 2 DUIs, hooked on drugs, hooked on alcohol, you know, all kinds of women problems. I was just a broken man. And and that's what happens when Jason drives a bus. So I needed to, like, put my faith and my heart into something that was going to heal me. And you're kind of confused at first. You know, I didn't know what to do. And so I started getting plugged in with church, man. And I think if it wasn't for the heart of the city and how gritty it was, and, you know, how people are just people and they're, you know, they're just as messed up as the next person, that seemed welcoming to me.
Yes.
Because at first I didn't feel like I belonged. You know, I felt broken. I didn't feel like I needed to be in church. Like, I'm too far gone for church people, as I would say. Like, you know, they're going to look down on me. They're going to judge me. And some Christians do, but for the most part, you know, because they're broken as the next person. But that place made me feel like home, you know? Like, I walked through the door for the first time at Heart of the City, and I just felt this presence hit me. I was like, man, this is beautiful.
It's different.
Worship was on point, you know, and, like, everything was just hitting. And I was inebriated when I went to my first service. Like, I was still coming down off of a bender that I went on, and I had this one dude named Bryson that kind of just kept showing up at my house, man, and taking me to lunch and hanging out with me and talking to me about Jesus. I'm like, this dude is crazy. Like, and he's a big dude with a big old beard, just a burly guy, but he had the softest heart, and he just had a love for Jesus. He goes, man, the only reason I show up and hang out with you, man, is because that's what God will want me to do, man. I'm trying to show you that you can have a relationship with God. And I guess I'm his vessel, because he told me, he, like, poured into my heart to say, be there for that man, because he's broken and he needs somebody to walk with him. And that's what happened, man. And if it wasn't for Bryson and the Heart of the City, I don't know if I'd be here right now, to be honest, because I was pretty far gone, dude. Like, I was a broken man. So
man. But that's an amazing. That's so amazing, man. Love story right there. It's amazing. I think what God will do, he'll chase us down. That's the thing. He'll chase us down. That's the thing about God, the God we serve, is He loves us so much, man, that He will go through he'll go through some lengths to get to us, like to get it, and also to get a message across to us. Like but I think a lot of the time He can just leave me to my own devices, and the message will get across pretty quick. Like, okay, I messed up. I'm messed up. I need help. So
well, that's another good thing about recovery, because when you work a 10th and 11th and a 12th step, like that 10th step is important because it's a time to meditate and reflect on how did you treat people that day, and you make amends quickly, and you don't let things fester and brew, because I don't know, man, I try to tell people this all the time. There's a war happening, a spiritual war that's happening.
Come on now.
And there's things that we just don't understand, and we probably shouldn't understand, but the enemy wants to isolate us, keep us stuck, get in there, and just to kill us, destroy us, and have us serve Him versus God. And that is a dangerous place to be, bro.
Man, I'm passionate about this. I'm very passionate about it.
So
spiritual war.
That's spiritual warfare, man. And I do my best to not let things fester. It's helped me, with my relationship with, my wife.
Yes.
It's helped me in the relationship with my coworkers. It's helped me in the relationship with just my friends and people in my life, because I mess up all the time, man. I make mistakes. I do dumb stuff sometimes, and it's good for me to just make those amends quickly. And just say, hey, look, I owe you an amends. I'm sorry. Get it out. And get it into the light in my day. And I do that pretty much daily, man.
Could I ask you a question?
What
would you say is your favorite step out of all the steps? What is the step that you resonated with immediately, and you kind of felt that, like, this is
I think the step that and it took me a while to get there, but I think one of the steps that I connect the most now is the 12th step. Give back to others. Just like you said, it was freely given to us, and a lot of times people that, like my wife, she doesn't get addiction. She doesn't understand it. She's not one of us. And she has no, she kind of has a overall, view of it, but like the inner things of addiction, it's just, she's not one of us, man. So when she sees me investing my time into other men and helping and serving, all that, I'm taken away from the family, which is true, partly true, but it goes deeper to that. And I try to explain it to her. Me helping another alcoholic and addict is actually helping me. First and foremost. And it's kind of a selfish thing, but at the end of the day, I got to take care of myself, and serving others is the quickest way I get out of myself. And, one of the things my pastor told me, and that was a good question, man. One of the things that my pastor said, there's a difference between being inspirational or inspired. Being inspired, we meet people all the time, and they have an inspiring story. There's inspiration, and you get inspired, but then when you become inspirational, that's a deep form of accountability. With other men, like, oh wait, like I inspired that person, or you're walking with a newcomer and you're like kind of helping them and guiding them, and they're inspired by your story, and they're like, oh, I became inspirational, and now it's a form of accountability for me, to hold my feet on solid ground. So man, so I think the 12th step is pretty heavy for me when I was a newcomer, and I think it progresses. Things change sometimes, whatever season in your life. In the beginning, when I started working the steps, I think the 3rd step was pretty impactful for me, knowing that Jason can't drive the bus. Like, I can't, he can, and I need to let him. That's step 1, 2, and 3. So for me, that 3rd step, when I was walking the journey, is just letting go, letting God.
That's powerful, man. No, that's actually really powerful right there, man. I would say the same.
What about you, man?
3rd step is one of them ones. When I learned that you could like give up stuff, when I don't have to stress about so much. There's so much that I think about, man, that that just gets trapped in this mind of my control bubble. What can Theodore control today?
Right.
It's man, the anxiety, the stress, the amount of, especially trying to do your own thing, like small business type thing or anything like that, man. It's when I was able to just just give it up, like,
Right.
Lord, look, I don't know what's going on. I don't know if this is gonna work. It's all up to you, you know. And so I could basically kick my feet up and just like let the Lord work, you know, because I feel like that's what he's our good father. He's our good father. He wants to be a part of our story. He wants to orchestrate our story and make the dreams in our heart flourish and come to life. Like I read Proverbs, like, and I see these verses like many are the plans in a person's heart, but it is the Lord's purpose that prevails. But the Lord's, like, it says, if the man that delights in the Lord's, I believe it's the Lord's law, it says like the Lord will kind of give him, fulfills like the king's heart or whatever. It's something similar to that. But like the Lord, like a righteous man, person that's following after God, that's committed to him, God will give him his heart's desire. Like, what is your heart's desire? That he'll give it to you. He's like, I got you. You just gotta trust. You gotta give it to me. And I didn't realize that until I started to give it. I'm like, God, why does it feel like you're allowing me to do this thing that I've always loved to do? I'm like, why is that possible? Like, why are you letting me do that? Because you're walking in obedience to me. That's why I got you.
That's heavy, man.
It's so good, man. It's a blessing, man.
Yeah, there's one thing that I definitely need to get better at, and that's getting into scripture. I mean, I did a 90 hard challenge. It's like 75 hard, but so 75 hard is you have to do it for 75 days, and you work out twice a day.
Oh, wow.
You meditate or journal.
Yeah.
And then you change something with your eating habits.
Okay.
And so my sponsor's like, hey, we're going to do 75 hard, but we're going to do 90 instead of 75 days.
Like a 90.
75 days wasn't hard enough. Yeah. Let's do 90.
Almost like a 90 and 90 type.
Yeah, it was. I mean, he had me do 90 meetings in 90 days when I first, when I relapsed. But, and so him and I think his sons are supposed to do the 90 hard. Mm-hmm. They end up quitting after like a month.
Tough, man.
And yeah, and I was doing it, and I said I'm not gonna give up on this, and I end up doing it.
Yeah.
But what I did and walked through that is I got into scripture for those 90 days. I was reading, Proverbs. You can read a chapter for every day for a whole year. You got plenty to go on Proverbs.
Yeah, man.
But I was doing that. I was doing a devotional. And I was journaling about what I was reading just so I can understand it. A lot of times, it's one thing when you like hear a sermon and the pastor's preaching, but it's different when you can take that information and then look it up yourself, get into scripture, and then kind of, regurgitate it and just get it and absorb it and then write it out like how you're feeling and how that, man. I love Romans 8. Like that's a good,
That's a lot of people's favorite.
Yeah. But the book of James, I think, is like critical for me. Not one that I enjoy,
what we need. But
James is all about that action.
Yeah, right.
Like, there's one thing, a lot of jibber jabbering, but now you need to, let's pick up our tools and get to work. And James was all about that action. So I really connected with the book of James. And then Ecclesiastes is by far probably one of my favorite. And the only reason is because, and I'm going to ask you about yours too.
Yeah,
but,
sure.
Ecclesiastes, when I went to that first sermon at Heart of the City, Bryson took me to, like I said, I was inebriated. I was gone. Like I was still coming off, drinking and drugging for like months, man. And for whatever reason, I heard that sermon like crystal clear. And the Pastor Chris, was talking about, if you want to change your position in life, you have to start working with principles. And at that point in my life, my position was I was sitting in my misery, and I got way too comfortable, man. Like it was down in the dungy basement with a futon and a flat screen TV, and I was just sitting there, just living in misery and just not changing anything. And I knew I wanted my position to change. but my principles weren't in line with that. So I really had to start focusing on my principles. What can I do today to get me a next step closer to that freedom?
Yeah.
And so after that, man, I heard the sermon. I told Bryson, I'm going to treatment. And I've already been to 6 treatments before that.
Yeah.
So I was like, and people were trying to get me to go.
Mm-hmm.
You know, my mom, my family, they're like, you need to go back to treatment. And I was like, I've been to 6 of them. They ain't going to say nothing to me that I don't already know. Like, I've been therapized to death. Like, I've been poked and prodded, and I've done everything in treatment that you possibly could do.
Yeah.
But for whatever reason, I think God was putting it on my heart. You got to get back into treatment. You got to get on solid ground. So I told Bryson, man, I was like, I'm going back to treatment, man. And then after that, I got into a year-long treatment program.
Okay.
Went into that program, graduated, and instead of going back to just life, I decided to, and at that time I was transitioned to retire from the military.
Yeah.
Because I was in the military.
I knew you were in the military.
Yeah.
I was like, something, I remembered it. Yeah.
Yeah, and then at that, I went into sober living because I didn't have a home. I lost everything, man, because of my addiction. And I was asked to leave early out of the military too, like retire early,
Yeah.
because I was just so broken, and I wasn't honoring the military. I wasn't honoring myself. I definitely had no service left in me. I was just a broken alcoholic drug addict that wasn't doing anything, man.
Yeah, man.
And so I went into sober living.
Yeah.
And I did that for like 2 years, bro. Lived in sober living. And I met my wife, and, you know, she was my 3rd wife.
Yeah.
So if anybody needs relationship advice, don't come to me.
Jason.
Actually, you can't come to me. I'll tell you what not to do. But I met my wife, you know, and I started working for the church.
Yeah.
And what's so funny, bro,
Yeah.
like, you know, I'm into this video thing. Like, it is I feel like I'm hijacking. Am I?
Oh, you're good, bro.
Okay.
I'm loving
All
this, man. You're good.
I'm sorry, man. I don't mean to hijack. That's one of my faults. I need to work on that. But this is a great story. That service that I went to at Heart of the City, they had videos. They doing video announcements. I was like, man, and I was into video. You know, I'm like, man, this place is amazing.
Yeah.
And I was like, I would love to work for a place like this. But there is no way this church is going to allow a drug addict, alcoholic like me to work here. There's just no way. And at that time, I was just new getting into faith. Like, you know, I thought everybody that went to church was a goody-goody. Like, I just didn't know.
Yeah.
And so when I went to that treatment program, it was God, man. Because look, I went to that treatment program. I told him, I was like, the only way this is going to work for me is if I can go to church on Sundays. He goes, the guy who was running it was Bill Cernis. Crusty old dude that spent years at San Quentin. The dude was a hard dude, but he was running this program. Amazing dude. He told me, yeah, we go to church here every Sunday. We go to Heart of the City. And I'm like, whoa! I was like, yes! This is it. Like, God's just answering prayers, man. Started going every Sunday, going to Heart of the City and getting plugged in, working my recovery. A year went by, and I was like, I wonder if they'll let me volunteer here and work in the video department. And at the time, the video team was my buddy Dave Fedorsky. He was running it. And he goes by Starling Birch. I probably shouldn't give his real name because he goes by a pseudonym. His name's Starling Birch.
Right.
I call him Yoda because he kind of helped me with my video skills.
Yeah.
He kind of like mentored me, and he was a good dude. And me and him, we worked hard. And he's like, "Yeah, you can volunteer and do this, do that," you know. And I started plugging in, and then eventually it led to me getting hired there full time on staff, and it was amazing, bro. Like, I was just like, it happened.
Yeah.
Like, I was able to work at this church where I didn't think I had any business or they would let me, but they let me, and it was amazing, man. And yeah, dude, it was.
God doesn't play about his children, man. That's
No.
he don't play about his kids. Like he gives us so many chances, man. That's the one thing I love the most about the Lord is just the grace that He gives us. It's like, man. Like, I have such a similar story, actually, about the military, man. Because my addiction started back when I was in, like, high school. I was in high school, drinking, smoking, all types of stuff, man.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you know what I'm gonna do? I mean, I should have been arrested. I should have been thrown in jail. Like, I should have DUIs. I should all types of stuff. I was in high school. I was tripping, man. I'm driving home drunk, all types of crazy stuff, right? So I go into the military. I'm like, you know what? I need some discipline. I need somebody to get me on the right foot. You know what I'm saying? So I go into the Air Force, the Air National Guard to be specific. And I'm like, because I'm like, I kind of want some home balance. I know I probably want to do something. I had been doing streaming already, so I'm like, I probably want something where I can still have some freedom, right? So I do that. So I go into basic. At this time, it's COVID going on, so it's like I'm getting hit. Yeah, so I got COVID basic. It's weird. It's kind of like we're trying to be safe, but we're still trying to be hard. We're like, oh, we're gonna make y'all run, but be separate, like all types of stuff, you know. so it's cool, and I get through that. I go through tech school. That was a bad time, man. Tech school was so terrible. I mean, it was good. Like, I was doing decent, but man, I started to slip into the same depression I was in high school, slowly but surely, as COVID's going, because we're not allowed to go home, we're not allowed to do nothing. Like, holidays were passing. I was missing holidays because of COVID, travel restrictions. Couldn't go home, couldn't see family, couldn't none of that. So I was just kind of hurting. But then my grandfather had passed when I was in. And they were like, because of COVID, you can't go home. Sorry, we don't need you to stay. And so I was like, okay, at least I can see them on Christmas. Christmas come around. COVID's still going. Can't do it, y'all. Sorry. We're gonna send home this. We're gonna send home this group of people. Everybody else, you're gonna have to stay here for Christmas. I'm like, okay, screw it. I gave up. I kind of gave up right then and there. I gave up on the military. So I basically, the military. Hey, if y'all listen, no, I've told it before, but I had a buddy. I ain't gonna say his name. I had a buddy. We were supposed to be drinking in the dorm. I had a buddy. He would come in with a bottle in his backpack. He'd be like, "Hey, man, how much? What you gonna pay for it? I got you." I pay him, and I go in that dorm, close that door, man. I would hammer that bottle all weekend. Week come, let me get another one. Weekend, let me get another one. Weekend, let me get a. So it's week in, week out. I'm still learning to edit. I didn't even say that, but I was like learning to edit videos, learning to. In my free time, when I come back from class, I would just sit down and like work on videos and upload them to my little YouTube channel, doing gameplays and stuff like that. Yeah. That's what I love to do. And I would study, and then I would, drink. Get wake up with a hangover, go to work / class, and come back and do it again. And so it was just a constant of doing that. And then I was just in a spiral, man. I was drinking heavy for like probably 4 months until. At some point, he left. He got discharged because of. He was doing. I think he got caught smoking or something. He got caught smoking. He got discharged, and so it was just me. And I was like, all right, let me get up out of here. I finally finished my schooling, and I went off to Florida to continue my schooling to some more because I was doing meteorology. So they had me in endless schooling. It felt like I was in there for like over 2 years, just getting trained. And at my next one, I was able to go home, and I was started to kind of get my mental health back. But when I was here in Florida, they definitely don't know this, but when I was in Florida, I was messed up, man. I had a buddy who, he was cool, he was good, he was real good to me. I would give him a ride, he'd get me liquor. I was underage. I was like 20, 19 or something. I was 20. I'd give him a ride in my car, he'd get me liquor, we'd be lit. That's it, you know what I'm saying? So we would do this little exchange, and I'm talking about at a point, I was at a point I was coming in, and I was like sauced. I was sauced at work. Like I'm giving presentations to my teachers. I'm like, yeah, today we're gonna have a cold front. We're gonna have there's a warm front going right here. It's gonna create some thunderstorms, and and I'm tripping, right? So I'm doing that, and it goes pretty well. I graduate, and it goes good, but I end up going back home after my training, and I felt like I kind of just fell through the cracks at that point. Like, it's for some reason, we ran out of money for training. Everything kind of just blew up in my station, and there was like nothing else going on. So at this point, I get home. I'm just back at home now. My parents were like, okay, what are you doing? You're not really making no money anymore. You're just going to drill once a month. Where's your money at? You ain't doing nothing. They get mad at me, and I'm like, okay, I got to do something with my life. Right now, I'm just spending all my money on drinks, and that's it, man. I'm just going through it, man. So I go, and trying to get a job. I think I started working at like just some what was it? Outback Steakhouse. I work in Outback, doing that, and I'm also doing DoorDash at the same time, and I'm also trying to stream, and I'm also trying to make videos. I'm burning myself down to the bone, man.
Yeah.
Trying to make it. I'm like, I really want this YouTube thing to work out. I really want the stream thing to work out, and I'm doing it. At this point, my relationship with God was non-existent. I hadn't been to church probably since basic training because I needed something to do. I'm like, because of COVID, we had nothing to do. We were in the dorm, trapped, cooped up. So I was like, I need something to do. I'll go to church.
Bob Hope Theater.
Yeah, man. See the Bob Hope Theater. Yeah, I'm not too sure about that.
Yeah,
because we literally was in the dorm. I was
Yeah.
watching it on a VHS tape.
Oh,
They recorded
okay.
it for us because of COVID. Yeah, man. It was.
Yeah.
So I'd just be, the only book I had was the Bible. So I just read the Bible, and I'm talking about, I'm mindlessly reading it. I don't know what's going on. I'm seeing something about sacrifices. I'm like, what are they talking about? I don't know what's going on. But all that kind of culminated to, man, I'm broken, I'm hurting, and then slowly but surely, I ended up moving to Pittsburgh, and I met at that point my now wife. I met her. We moved in we had known each other for a little bit from COVID, but we were doing online dating for a time.
Oh wow.
And it was cool. We did that for about 4 or 5 months, and then we were like, let's move in together. Do the military way, move in together. We living together now, and we're doing it, and it's great. You know what I'm saying? And at this point, I'm not a godly man at this point. I'm doing whatever. I don't care.
Yeah.
Drinking, smoking, whatever. But at this point, she's a therapist, and she's literally my first ever point of somebody trying to get in my mind. I had never experienced that. Somebody caring really about my mind and what's going on.
Yeah.
So she literally, straight up, my wife, she went into that dark dungeon and pulled me out of that. I was deep in my own misery, sorrow, distrust, didn't trust nobody, had a heart of stone. And she went in and she took all my verbal abuse. She took all my my shame, self shame and pity. And she was way better than me than I deserved.
Right.
Than I deserved. I don't know if I could put up with that. I can't put up with myself sometimes. So I don't know how she did it. I didn't like myself. That's why I did what I did. And so, but she liked me and she loved me until I could love myself.
That's amazing.
So, ended up in a treatment facility, and because I had a manic episode. I basically went into psychosis type thing. I was going through it, and it was on the other side of that is when I felt Jesus calling on my heart. Just things I can't explain started to happen. For some reason, I'm like, let me call a pastor. Yeah. Something I never thought to do in my life. Let me call a pastor. I call a pastor, and this man is just letting me talk. I'm talking to this man for 2 hours straight in my car. He's just listening to me. I'm wanting advice. He's not giving me no advice. He's just yeah, okay, how does that? And he just wants to hear me. Just get it out.
Right.
And so I'm getting it out. I'm like, I was in a treatment facility. No. Have you considered going to AA? Have you considered? I'm like, I don't know about AA. I don't really want none of that. So I never spoke to the man again. But that was that changed a lot. It made me understand that not all pastors are how they were growing up. They're not all, kind of self-righteous, holier than thou. Yeah. There's some people down there just wanting to just be there for you. Right. And because I know I can put people in a box, put people in a bubble. You know what I'm saying?
I'm the same way, man.
So, yeah, man. And I just came out of that. And from then, it was I was in Pittsburgh. Huge situation blow up with my family back in Virginia, and I'm like, let's move out to Arizona with your mom because she's allowed. She's like, I'll come out here. It's cool. I'm like, all right. I get out here. I'm broken. I ain't got nothing. My mind's hurting. I'm like, I need to get some weed. I need to get something. We got to smoke something. I don't know if I can even say that on YouTube. My fault, YouTube. Yeah, good, man. So I'm like, I need to get some stuff, and so I'm like, I get a job. I start the moment I get that money. Immediately getting drugs, getting it, and man, it's helping me, but really I developed an addiction, but I was literally dependent on it to do anything. I was dependent on it, and I don't know what happened, man. At one point, I was just straight up, I'm done, I'm finished. I gave up the weed. I gave up my my medication. I was just like, I'm done. I don't care no more. I don't care. Whatever happens, happens. And I'm like, God, I need you. I can't do this no more. I literally just surrendered. I'm like, I can't do nothing. I was super addicted to like, like the nicotine vapes and stuff. And I'm like, I'm a cook. I can't do jack. I had no money because I left my job because I was like, I want to go do my own thing. I'm like, I'm gonna go do my own thing. I don't want to do my own thing, So I was out here making no money at my girl's mom's crib, and I'm like, I'm kind of cooked. I started to get kind of comfortable in that kind of like flow. And what happens? I'm like, hey babe, you think I get some money? Go get another vape. You know what I'm saying? She was like, no. First time I'd ever heard that from her. She said no. I'm like, what do you mean no? What am I gonna do? I don't have any money. I don't got a job or nothing. So what am I gonna go? So I'm like, what am I gonna do? I'm like, I can go in DoorDash for that money or something. But I'm like, you know what? I'm too tired. I'm too tired to even get up and go drive that car to make the couple $20 I need to go get that. I'm too tired. I can't. I can't. I don't want to go back to the weed or I'm like, I'm done. I'm like, I was on my knees and I was like, Jesus, I need you. That's it. And from then on, man, I remember I felt like this violent urge to just like, forgive me, y'all, to like vomit. I just felt it. I needed to get it. Something was coming up. I didn't know what was going on. I ran to the bathroom, man. I was on my knees at the toilet for like 10 minutes or something. Just violent. It hurt. It was like almost like I was sick. Like something happened. Like I ate something bad or something, like almost like food poisoning. Is what it felt like. But man, from that point on, man, I didn't even feel the urge to vape anymore. It was just gone. That was gone. Man, I was literally, I had a mental dependence on marijuana. I literally couldn't stop thinking about it.
Right.
That was gone. Alcohol, the idea to still drink is like, it still is there. Like sometimes it comes up, but the dependence, the sweats I would get, like the I need something. That was already kind of getting better. So it wasn't like something I noticed it like going away or anything like that. But and God did a mighty work and just like surrender. Just me being on my knees and saying, God, I need you. Jesus, I need you. And it's amazing what he can do with that. With the yes. Just okay. You humbled yourself. Now let me work. Now let me cook.
Yeah.
That's it.
He cooked, man.
He cooks, man.
Yeah.
That was about a year ago now.
Yeah. I wonder if, like, when you're going through that, sometimes when you're in it, it's very hard to feel that hope, like anything's going to change. Like, when you're, this buddy of mine, he was actually an accountability brother of mine.
Yeah.
He was we were both kind of on the same trajectory of our recovery, because he relapsed and he was kind of sitting with that, and I had about as many days clean as he did, so we became accountability brothers. Unfortunately, Satan got in his head and he ended up killing himself, which is unfortunate, man. And I've been around it a lot, unfortunately. But he used to always say, sometimes it's hard to see the whole picture when you're in it. Yes. And I know what it's like when you're in it, when you're going through those trials and tribulations. Like, it's hard to see the bigger picture of things because, I don't see hope. Yeah. Sometimes I fall like the guy was saying at the meeting the other night, like he doesn't hear God. Like I was just like, man, I've been there. Like, I know what that feels like when you don't feel like you're getting God to answer prayers. But maybe not the right time, or God needs you to work on some other things, and he will reveal himself. Yes. And things, his promises are true. But you gotta keep at it, man. So that's one of the things I've been really, I guess blessed about, is the fact that he does answer his promises, and he will carry that load for you. Yes. But it's not your time. Yes. It's his timing. There's a timing to what God does. Absolutely. And I've witnessed that. I've experienced it. And yeah, it's been an amazing journey for sure, especially for me, man, because you know, I was in my dark times when I was married to a heroin and meth addict.
Yeah.
And she was like, you know, it got me hooked into that stuff.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, I was an E7 dude in the Air Force. Well, actually, I was a Alaska Air National Guard. I'm an E7, you know, supervisor to many, you know. I was in a trap house buying stuff in uniform.
Yeah.
I did take my ABU top off, but I have my ABU bottoms on, but I was in uniform in this trap house getting a gun pointed at me over $50. And I'm just like, oh my God. I was like, just shoot me, man. Like, I'm done. Like, I don't even care anymore.
Yeah.
Like, that point where you're just like, I can't believe I'm going through this right now. Like,
Yes.
you know, and I'm sitting here. It's just, yeah, man.
When you can't see that hope, that's
Yeah.
so real. And it's like, I've heard this before. That moment after giving up, it's like, you know what, Lord, I'm done. You know what? The next thing that kind of come almost every single time, it's almost like a self pity, like a wallowing. And I was in that. It's like that wallowing, like, man, I don't even want to be alive anymore. I'm done. Like, you know, and that's so real because it's like, that's almost like what we have to go through that. You know, and it's, man, you know, just came to mind. It's so unfortunate that your brother in Christ did that. My brother in Christ as well did that. You know, took his life. It's so unfortunate because I'm so adamant against like about spiritual warfare.
Yeah.
One of the things that I don't think talk about enough as a society is the truth and the reality of the invisible war.
Yeah.
And that's something that like I deal with every day. I mean, most Christians deal with every day. I think sometimes we don't put that name on it, that label on it, but it's like, no, that's a real thing happening.
Right.
And it's like, before we come to Christ, we're kind of like at God's mercy about like what's going to happen to me. Like, I remember back when I was in the military, one of the things that used to happen to me, this is actually how I got diagnosed with PTSD. I would have the most violent nightmares, like something that's like otherworldly nightmares, because of like after I would drink, I would have these just most insane, most vivid, terrifying, like can't sleep no more. Like I literally just couldn't, I was like, I'm scared to go to sleep. Yeah. If I go to sleep, I need to be blacked out. I would take anything to just be sleep and not dream. I was like, I have to turn my dreams off. Anything I can. And like looking back, I'm like, man, that was demonic. Like what that was. It was who's like those things was just because of like I was at like it's like I was just in his hand. I was in Satan's hand. I was just in the devil's grip. He could do whatever he wanted to me, really, because I wasn't with the Lord. I didn't care about Jesus. I wore a cross, but that's where he might. I don't know if you ever read the Screw Tape Letters. Heard it. That's the day. That's the most dangerous place to be.
C.S. Lewis.
I love C.S. Lewis. Man.
Yeah.
To be like, oh, I'm a Christian, I'm good, but like to not actually be following God. That's one of the most dangerous places to be, because it's like, or like, am I really following God, or am I doing kind of
like lukewarm water, man?
Yes,
spit you out.
Yeah. Yes, man. Like it's like I wasn't really reading the Bible. I read the Bible later on, having come to faith, and he's like, I read that verse like when Jesus was like, I'm gonna say like, I didn't know you, like depart from me, I never knew you.
Yeah. That
right there, let me tell you something. I was terrified.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's me.
Yeah.
He's gonna do that to me. And it's like, I'm like, I have to do whatever I can, and then so that turns into me doing works. I'm gonna do works, babe. I'm gonna earn my salvation, Lord. I'm coming. I want to win. You know me. And so you go through that season. You got to go through that season at least one time.
Yeah.
Go through that season. And then you get out of that, you're like, okay, I was tripping. My fault.
Yeah. All right, I think what I want to do now is kind of venture down the creative path.
Okay.
You know, thank you for sharing, man.
Yeah,
thank you. Your journey with God, your journey in recovery. It's amazing to hear these stories. It gives me a lot of like hope in people, hope in humanity. Like God's doing work. He's pulling people out of their misery, meets them where they're at, and he's bringing them along. So, and that's how we got connected.
Yes.
But you're a creative.
Yes, Lord.
Yeah.
Yes, Lord.
You are a creative. You have a YouTube channel. You stream gaming, and you even told me you're working on a video game.
Yes, sir.
That is dope, man. I couldn't even imagine building a video game. So tell me a little bit about that, dude.
Man, I'm gonna say anybody can do it. If I can do it, anyone can do it. Let me say that. Man, I've been making a game for it's been about 9 months now. It's called Anointed. It's a video game about spiritual warfare. Yeah, man, it's something that's so real to me because like I've been dealing with it like since I've come to Christ. It's just like this. Something I'm very adamant about. Like I'm like, why don't I see anybody talking about this? I'm looking everywhere for it. I see there's some books, there's some media about it. This guy named Chip Ingram, I believe his name is. He made this like series. But I was like, if I could do anything, I kind of felt like the Lord was leading me in this direction of, okay, I want you to kind of cover spiritual warfare. So how I kind of got involved in that. So before this, I was literally every single day. At this point, I didn't have a job. This is like right after I got delivered from all of this stuff. I was going to CR every Monday. I was, I didn't have a job. I was like, Lord, I need a job. I'm praying about it. God, can I get some, do something so I can provide for my at the time, she wasn't fiance yet, my girlfriend. I want to provide for her. I want to get out of her mom's house. Let's do something, right? I'm getting there. Like I'm becoming willing. At this point in time, God, he was like, he kind of felt like he revealed to me, I need you just to be reading your Bible. I need you just to learn my voice, hear my voice, learn to hear it. And so that's what I was doing. I was reading the Bible every day for a shift. I was doing a shift on that Bible every day. I'm just literally reading it every 8 hours a day. Bam, bam, bam. That's it. Woke up, read, go to sleep. Woke up, read, go to sleep. That's literally what I'm doing. And so it goes from that to one night, probably like 4 or 5 months later. At this point, I didn't, what I'm saying, don't feel bad if you don't read the whole Bible in a certain amount of time. Literally, you can literally not finish the whole thing in your whole life if you really do it. That's how I'm doing now. I read one chapter a day basically. So like, don't feel bad. But so what happened? I'm sitting up one night. I'm literally just chilling on the bed watching this YouTube video about creativity and creative callings and stuff like that, and I'm like, this is cool. The dude on the YouTube video mentions video games, and I'm like, that would be really, really cool. I don't know. I clicked the next YouTube video underneath that. It was like talking about like how God reveals creative callings and stuff like that. I was like, that's so interesting, man. As I'm watching this video, I'm just chilling. It's like 1:00 in the morning. I'm chilling, and I just feel the most insane thing. Like it just feels like there's like my body gets hot. Like it just gets hot. Like there's flashes going through me, and it's like my heart. It feels like there's lightning in it, and I don't know what's going on. I've never experienced this in my life, and I'm like, what is happening? I feel almost like inspired. I'm like, what's happening? And then as I'm chilling there, I just start seeing these visions of images of like what appears to be a video game. I'm like, or it just appears to be like something like. But I'm like, okay, what I'm seeing is like this first person perspective of somebody doing some things. And I'm like, that looks like a video game. What's going on? Like, what am I seeing here? And I'm like, I kind of go back to the other video I was watching. I was like, making a video game for God. That'd be interesting. I never thought about doing something like that. And so what I do, I just go and I just start journaling and writing out, drawing the pictures of what I had seen. And man, I'm like, I don't know what this is, God. I don't know if this is even you. The enemy could just be putting that on my plate. I don't know what's happening, right? And then that's where I feel like the journey began with Anointed. That was the beginning. Like every day was something like God didn't give me no other answers. I got the vision. That's it. Didn't hear nothing else that night. So I'm sitting here like, well, I can't sleep. I can't sleep no more. So that's fine. So I woke up the next day and I'm like, well, what do I do with this? I talked to my girlfriend. I'm like, hey, what do I do? You know what I need to do with this? She was like, maybe you need to pray about it. And I'm like, okay, I'll pray about it. I'm like, what's going on here? I don't know what this is. At this point, I didn't really know. I wasn't listening to God's voice. Like, really, I didn't know how to hear it or anything like that. So I'm just like, well, that's that. I got this, and I'm like, let me just kind of like see what I can do with this. I just keep drawing out what I've seen, and I'm trying to like add detail onto it. And as I'm doing it, I'm noticing that I'm starting to see more as I'm drawing it. I'm drawing, and I'm like, why did this thing just come to my mind about the same thing? I'm like, oh, maybe this scene looks a little bit more like this. And so, and this is me for the first time. I'm beginning to walk with the Spirit, walk with the Holy Spirit in this creative journey, this creative venture. For the first time, I had never known you could even do this. I was like, where's this in the Bible? No, but it is actually in the Bible. Later on, I find out that's like, they talked about this. The first, like one of the first people ever filled with the Holy Spirit, Bezalel. Yeah. The person who made the tabernacle, the tent, I believe, he was who designed all of he was an artist who made all of the patterns. He was like one of the first people ever filled with the Holy Spirit, and he gave him the gifts to do that. I'm like, wow, this is crazy. So I'm learning how to, I'm trying to hone myself and honing my hearing his voice. And I just remembered making like this one model. It was like this, what is this? Like, what type of game is this, Lord? Like, this feels dark. It feels gloomy. It feels unnerving. It feels, I'm like, I don't know if this is you, because you're God. You're light. You're bright. I'm like, how can this be you? I'm like, this got to be from the anime, Lord. I don't think I feel comfortable doing this. And then I look up, can Christians make? I'm new on the faith. Can Christians make horror video games? And one of the first videos pop up is from this old creator I used to watch. Man, this was crazy. I used to watch this man. His name was Thomas Brush. Shout out to Thomas Brush. I used to watch his videos back when I started learning about game development like 2 years ago. I didn't even know this man was a Christian at all. This man's making a horror game too, and he's talking about the video. The video dropped last week. I'm like, what is going on? I'm like, okay, something's happening. I don't know what. Let's watch the video. He's like, yeah, man, I've been a Christian my whole life, man, and I'm making this horror game, so and so and so, and I think it's okay for Christians to make. I'm like, all right, that's the green light, I guess. I don't know.
Well, I think what not to interrupt you, but I think what a lot of people get twisted or something is like, there's a lot of scary things in the Bible.
Yes.
A lot of scary things, man. I don't know, man. Revelations is pretty deep.
You're fine.
Yeah. So I don't think it's wrong to travel down that path. And now did you know game development during that time?
I knew a little bit, just a little bit.
Yeah.
I had been doing like tutorials and just like learning the basics of it. And so like I knew just a small little bit. Probably I'd been working on it for about 6 months in total. I didn't know how to program. Before I was actually in this free boot camp. I think this is some other divine. Like, I'm like, who just teaches you how to code for free and pays you to do it?
Yeah. I
seen like an ad on my TikTok like 2 years prior talking about learn the code and get paid to do it. I'm like, all right, another scam. I scroll past it, comes back. I'm like, you know what? I showed it to my girl. I'm like, what do you think about that? She's like, try it. I'm like, okay, I do it, and it's real. I'm in an internship learning to code for free, learning web development, and I'm literally getting these skills for free. I'm getting paid to learn these skills, and then they give me a job after.
That's dope.
At this bank. I didn't even know it existed. I didn't even know there was a real thing called the Bank of New York Mellon. I didn't know that was a real bank. But it's a real thing. And I'm working there. I didn't like it. I hated corporate life, like that type of environment when it was like super suits and all right. Let's see. I hated it, but I was like, wow, this is such a blessing. And in my free time, I would be making games. I'll be learning, doing tutorials. I'm literally on the job. Just when I'm done with my work, I'm over here watching the tutorial, playing Godot. So that's what I'm making the game in, is Godot. And man, it's been a long journey, man.
Yeah.
So I didn't know, but I'm literally every day I'm waking up. I'm like, all right, God, what am I doing today? I do the thing we do at Sun Valley, open your palms for receiving. I'm like, God, what are we doing today? Sometimes I'll hear something, sometimes I don't. I'm like, okay, well, what did I do yesterday? Let's see. Is there something I didn't do? I didn't finish. Let me just look and see. Okay, I did have some things written down I didn't finish. Let me just do that first. And I noticed that after I get done with that, and after I made some good progress, I'll pray again. And it's like, okay, the Lord might give me another little bit of the mission. He doesn't dump it all on you, because if he dumps it all on you, you lose your mind. You literally go crazy, because it doesn't make. It's like, okay, I got to do this, because what we do as humans if God gave us a destination and end goal, we're gonna make our own way to it. That's
Right.
why he can't give it to us. He gave it to me. If he gave me the end goal, I would have probably, I don't know where, I'd probably be making t-shirts or something. I don't know, you know. So all he gave me was just an image of maybe like a little bit of like what the end product would look like.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, it's a video game. I know that for sure. Have an idea what it might look like. How we get there and what it actually might look like is a little different. But yeah, it's a game about spiritual warfare, man. About, you know, rebuking demons. Like,
That's dope.
yeah, man.
Yeah, I'm excited for you, man. I watched your video that you were talking about it. That was cool. And what I want to do now, you guys gotta bear with me. I am switching and trying to make sure audio is good. If you're in the chat, I see some people in the chat. I'm not replying to chats right now, so I apologize. But I am going to. I want to share his YouTube channel with you guys. So I'll put it in the description. And but let me pull up your YouTube, man, and then I'll share it because people got to really check you out, dude.
Thank you, bro. Appreciate you.
Yeah, let me bear with me. We'll go to wide shot here, and then I will. Yeah. Here we go. So I'm going to share this screen. Put that in the bottom. Let's put it in the bottom. Picture. There we go. There's your YouTube channel, Theodore Faulk.
Yes, sir.
Yes, man. You got videos of you talking about your journey, the beginning. You know, the journey in making the video game, which was a fun video. You know, you got reviewing games and stuff like that. So. Yeah, that's awesome, man. So go check out his YouTube channel, subscribe, show him some love. I mean,
Appreciate
that's what this is all about, man.
Appreciate it.
That's why I love YouTube.
Yeah.
And I'll get off this and I'll go back to this. I mean, for me, that's why I love YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a community aspect, just like I love CR.
Yeah.
I shared this in my testimony. You know, God, have you ever seen a redwood tree growing in a field by itself?
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
I listened to that testimony. That's why I was like, I heard some of this, I think. But yeah.
Yeah. You don't see it, man.
Yeah.
And the reason why you don't is because those trees, in order for them to grow as God designed them, they need to be in community because it's the root system.
Yes.
And it's those roots that are netted together that allow those trees to grow as big as they can grow as a community. And that's how I look at Celebrate Recovery. Like, we're netted together, man. We're holding each other down, God being the foundation and us netting together and supporting us so we can grow like God had, designed us to grow.
Yeah.
Same thing I feel about YouTube. You know, I love doing it. I love creating. I love telling stories.
Yeah.
I love connecting with other people like yourself. And to me, it's all about this community.
Yeah.
I mean, this is why I'm doing it. And I use this as like journaling in a sense. It's like digital journaling for me. It's like me having the ability to document what's going on in my life that day and then going back to it like years down the road and being like, oh, that's where I was then. Or maybe my kids can watch it when they get older and stuff like that. And so it's what I love to do. So can you explain like where people can find you and how to like follow your journey and stuff like that?
Sure, man. Yeah, I've been really sitting here trying to pray about like when I need to be live on Twitch. The schedule is I try to be live Monday through Friday. I don't have like a set start time, but most of the time it's after 1 p.m. PST, or I guess not PST, MST. 1 p.m. MST to probably like 4 p.m. at MST. I'll be live on twitch.tv/Theodore Faulk, my name. Or I'm also on YouTube, so that same YouTube channel that he showed, I'm also there. So
that's dope.
That's where I'll be live, man. Yes, sir.
And give a little perspective on what it is that you do on there. So
I normally will just stream me making the game. So like you can come up there, you can literally see me in the process of like making decisions, praying about. I literally sit there praying like, okay, what's the next thing I need to do? And you can literally sit there and watch how I go about doing everything I do, man. A lot of frustration. You want to see the real That's where you go, man. It's a lot of man. I'm sick of this, man. This doesn't work, man. It takes a lot to make a game. It takes a lot to do anything, and just if you pull up on me, I'd appreciate it, man. That's a blessing, even, man. Thank you for sharing it, man.
Yeah, man. I it's cool. I personally, I've never been a gamer.
Yeah.
I've never, I did like play video games here and there, but it wasn't anything that I connected with.
Yeah.
So I never did it. And knowing like a lot of my friends do, though, man. A lot of them are invested in gaming, that gaming life.
Yeah.
It's how Mr. B started. Like all these, big YouTubers all started about like what you're doing.
Yeah.
The streaming them playing video games.
Mm-hmm.
My son, who's 6 years old, he loves watching
people play
other games, which always made me like think it's like, man, here my son is escaping his reality.
Yeah.
To watch somebody escape their reality and put their reality in the game. I always found that fascinating, but people love it, man.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how like all these big YouTubers kind of got started, is doing that.
A lot of them, yeah.
Just sharing their journey in video games and things like that.
Yeah.
And I find it super fascinating. And when you told me you were developing one and like working on that journey, and you're documenting it in a way, and I was like, man, I got to get you on my podcast. So I was like, let's get you on. Yeah. I didn't think we'd get on this quick. Yeah. Like, we just talked about it Thursday, and here we are Saturday. We're sitting down and we're chopping it up, man. So I greatly appreciate you, man. Thank you.
Thank you, man.
Yeah. Is there anything else do you want to talk about, man?
Shoot, bro.
How's married life? Are you married now?
I am married now. Yeah.
Nice.
It's been cool, man. It's different. It's definitely different.
It's different.
It's different than dating, man. I don't hear people talk about the switch up.
Yeah.
Right after you get married, something happens. I don't know what it is, man.
Yeah.
It's the same person. Yeah. But something happens, man. I just noticed that there's just like, for some reason, we just had immediately communication was harder. I don't even know how that's possible.
Yeah, that is the truth, man. I mean, if there's anything that me and my wife, we fight about, and we've been married since 2019. Yeah. So if there's anything that, with me and my wife, and like I said, take this with a grain of salt, it's my third marriage.
Yeah.
But if there's anything that's been the hardest for us, is that communication piece.
Yeah.
And me and my wife are going through a tough season right now, and like I've been getting a lot of people to pray, that we journey, and because my wife, she runs her own business.
Yeah.
I'm super busy with work and recovery and doing this stuff, so our time, we just don't come together and connect like we need to, and we both know that. Like we both are in that, headspace where we realize like we're just not connecting.
Yeah.
And a lot of it stems from, I live in my head a lot, so I'm always like there, and I don't outwardly reach out. Like I just kind of process things in my head, like this is what I'm gonna do today, boom, 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 boom. I'm also a runner, so I can't run right now, so that's been affecting me.
Yeah.
But I'm not we're not connecting and we're not communicating, which has been tough, man. So we're going through it right now. I mean, there's not, by the grace of God, she, after my relapse and us working through that, my sponsor told me, he's an awesome dude. I was just devastated because I didn't want to lose my family.
Yeah.
And I knew my actions caused some of that. Because not only did I relapse, I inappropriately was texting another woman. I had no business doing that. And I was, she saw the messages and I was inappropriate and I blacked out, man. Like I went back to the old Jason, like in my dark days, because when I'm blacked out, I don't know what I'm doing, not making excuses, but that's what happened. And I dishonored her, and so that was another, thing that she was like, hey, you gotta go. Like, and I had to get an apartment. I moved out. We were separated for like 6 months.
Yeah.
And then I was crying to my sponsor about it. I mean, he didn't want to know me in my first, days getting back into recovery, because I was just, every meeting I go to, I was just bawling. People couldn't even dang, I'm sick of this dude always hijacking the meeting with his tears and just, I was just crying all the time, because that's not where I wanted to be, and I wanted my family back because we had 2 small kids at the time.
Yeah, man.
And it was just like, man, and I was crying to her, like,
Yeah.
we don't need to go this, like, we can make this work. We just give me time to get back on solid ground. Like, I promise you, I'll get there. And she just didn't believe me because I told her that before. The first time I relapsed, she's like, you said that, like, I don't trust you. Like, you're not, you know, when you break that trust, it just adds another, you know, element of making it difficult. And then, you know, this is what my sponsor told me. He goes, what you need to do is give her to God, because she belongs to him anyway.
Yeah.
The other thing is, your wife's a closed flower right now. Nothing's getting in there. You gotta wait until she opens up, and then you pounce on her. Like, then you throw in those things.
Yeah.
But you need to get on solid ground first, Jason. Like, you can't be like, you know, freshly in recovery and thinking that you're gonna swoon her away again. Like, you gotta like show her with your actions. Like, and that's what it took, man. Like, a lot of that. And then after, like, I think we're on the 7th month, she's like, I'm gonna forgive you and allow you to come back to the house.
Yeah, man.
You know, but you know, we're gonna set boundaries. We're gonna talk about things, and you know, and everything that I cried about that I wanted, I have to remind myself when I'm there not to take that for granted.
Yes.
Like, when she's annoying the hell out of me, I'm like, dang, no, you wanted her to annoy the hell out of you when you didn't have her. You got to remember that where you're going through it. And so I have, you know, like I said, man, that 10th, 11th, 12th step, constant reminders, like, be grateful for what you have.
Yes, Lord.
Because when I live in gratitude, I want for nothing.
Yes.
And when I live outside of gratitude, I can never get full, man. I'm just like, give me more, give me more, give me more, you know, so.
Man, that's a blessing, man. I was saying, what your sponsor said is so wise. I hadn't heard what was the first thing? It was the first thing you had said.
Give her to God.
Give her to God. That was, man, that one hit me a little bit.
Yeah, man, because she belongs to him anyway.
Yeah.
And, you know, I need to give him to her or give her to him. And I just need to focus on me and allow myself to get healing and freedom and show her in my actions, not just my words, but in my actions. And it took a while. I mean, if it was up to me, I would have had her, you know, have me back in the house like yesterday, you know, like, but that wasn't happening. And it was a tough season for us, but, and we're still kind of going through it, man. Like, you know, it's been almost 3 years, but it's been a long road of repairing and building trust again. And, you know, proving to her that I'm taking this recovery thing seriously. Like, I take my family seriously, like all these things. But, you know, I had to wait until she opened up, you know, that flower opened up. And then I was able to, like, get through, you know, so she realized, like, okay, you know, I'm going to forgive you. And that was all God, man. You know, God allowing that to happen. But
I was gonna say,
long story to answer into like what you're saying. Communication is still the tough part for us.
Yeah, I was gonna say, man, you were talking earlier about how, like, you know, sometimes when it comes to, you know, coming in, you know, being like, oh, I need to, you know, work my recovery, serve and get back and stuff. Man, the one thing that I I love to think about is, like, Jesus told us to go out and just make disciples of nations, man, and you're doing it, man. That's exactly what you do. When you go out and you have a sponsor, or you're just with a dude, you're getting lunch or coffee with, man, you're making a disciple, man. You're making a little Jesus. You're being the hands and feet.
I didn't even think of it like that, but that's true. Yeah.
So that's just, you know, take that to heart. You're doing a great commission every time you do that.
And that's, you know, that's what, you know, my sponsor reminds me too. Like, when I'm going through it with my wife, she doesn't understand sometimes. Not like it's a fault to her. She just doesn't get it. And because she's not one of us. And so, like, my sponsor said, like, you know, you just got to make sure you're doing the next right thing. And God will work out everything in between. But if you're not willing to do the next right thing, you know, you're setting yourself up for failure, man. So, but making little Jesuses, man. I see those. You ever see those little Jesuses? Somebody like handed me one time. They're like, hey, have a little Jesus, and I'm like, oh, okay. They gave me that.
Little thing. I feel like I see him everywhere, man.
Yeah, my buddy, he's somebody I chop up with a lot here. I kind of want to get him on the podcast too. He won't tell me what he is. He doesn't believe in God.
Yeah.
He questions a lot. He's very inquisitive. He's a programmer kind of guy too.
Yeah.
And he is more like rational,
problem solver type.
Problem solve. Yeah, like he did, but he hasn't really like. I haven't nailed it down. It's like, who's that guy? James Pack? No, what's that dude's name?
You're talking about what is he? What's his job? What does he do?
He's like a teacher, and he does YouTube. James Patterson? No.
What? A teacher that does YouTube?
Well, he's kind of like a philosophical guy.
Are you talking about? Is he a podcaster?
Yeah, he's like a podcaster.
Oh my goodness, I know exactly who you're talking about.
He has a very unique voice.
And he's a programmer.
No. I'm talking about what the heck is his name? It'll come back to me, but my friend is very inquisitive, and he's very like, you can't pin it down. Like, he won't tell me he believes in God. Like, and so me and him have a lot of deep conversations at work.
Yeah.
I talk about God, and he talks about, us being part of a simulation. Like,
yeah,
we do.
That's real,
dude. Like, we sit there and we talk all the time, and he took a picture of a little Jesus that was in a restroom that he saw on the toilet. He's like, here's your guy. He's just doing stuff like that to me all the time. Or he'll text message me and he'll ask me. And that's, I like how you put that, like discipling other men. Because he throws things at me like, man, I don't know if I can answer that question. Like, why does God allow so much suffering in the world? Like, just things like that.
Yeah.
And, I was like, because God gave us the free will to like make these choices, and it's not so much understanding the fact that it's like He gave us a choice, but on the same token, what am I trying to say? He basically, it's all about redemption. It's all about making those choices, but knowing that it's not in what we do, it's what He already has done. It's not about that. It's like, what other religious figure has done that? Yes. What other person, like Buddha, like all these things, not knocking other religions by any means, because everybody has the right to believe what they want. Yeah. But it's like, where is it that they say, like, it's not about what you do, it's about what He already did. Yeah. That's the powerful piece of it. Yeah. He gives us that free will to make those choices and understand, like, the debt's already been paid. Yeah. Like, all we got to do is just love God and love people, So.
Yes. I think it's always this overcomplicating that we do. Yeah. Where it's like, okay, like one of my friends was like, well, Theodore, what about evolution? What about all these things? That's like, brother, I don't care. I'm gonna be honest, I just don't really care. That is an absolutely understandable. Like there's things that you need to know. Oh, you're good, bro. There's a million things that I guess you could start to look at, but the thing that God says in His Word is that those that do not understand me, that don't understand God, that don't have a relationship with Him, the reason why they don't is because it's a hardening of our hearts. It's very similar to like the Israelites, how they hardened their hearts against God, and because they wanted what they wanted to be true so bad that no matter what God could have said to them, it wouldn't matter. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, so Jesus Himself could come down, and you know how much proof people would want from Him that He's really God. Yeah. I need you to make this wall disappear. I need you to move this ocean. I need you to. How prideful are we, man? Yeah. That we need God to do. You're God. Yeah. You don't have to do nothing to prove them. And so once I understood that, I'm like, man, I'm really prideful, Lord. That's my fault. I didn't even realize how much, like, I need you. I'm always like, man, show me a sign, show me a wonder, show me what to do, what you want me to do. And it's Lord, you're God. Right. Who am I? Yeah. You died for me. Who am I? Yeah. And I think it's just a lot of pride. And so, to say all that to say, we're all imperfect. Yeah. We all fall short. Yeah. And that once we understand that, I think it's once I got that, I'm like, you know what, man, it. No matter what, God doesn't owe me any answers at all.
Right.
Not even in I remember one of the first books I ever read in the Bible was Job.
Oh yeah.
With like how he got get crazy.
Yeah.
Like you wouldn't if God was trying to paint this perfect picture of himself, why would he allow Job to be in the Bible?
Right.
Where like he allowed Job to his kids died. He lost everything. He had wounds and sores on his feet, hands and feet. He was cooked. Yeah. Job was cooked. He was fried, bro. Why would he allow that to happen? Then what? But then you hear about the rest. Job humbled himself, and God gave him double what he had. Yeah. And it's like, but if God's just, if God's so good, I'm like, man, God is God, man.
Yeah,
God is God. I can't.
I like that. He doesn't owe us any answers.
Not a thing.
Yeah.
And I love that God came down. It was like, all right, Job, if you know so much, you tell me. And I was like, yeah. It was real G. Like, real, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, yo, that's, you know, but he didn't have to even do that for Job, but he did that because he wanted to get this lesson through to him. And then he allowed him to repent. That's what God allows. That's one of the biggest graces that God allows us is to be able to repent. Yeah. Like, He doesn't have to allow us to come back to him, but he does it because he loves us, because he wants to know us. Like there's people that come into our lives who are always trying to minister to us, who are always trying to say, you know what, I think Jesus would be nice for you, or maybe, you know, how about you come to church with me this weekend? Man, they're doing that for you, for us. They're doing that for you. They're doing it because they love you. They want you to have what we have, and we want people to have what we got, like the peace that we have, the peace that everything's good. I'm good. You know what I'm saying? Right. As long as I surrender to him, I'm good. You feel me?
I need nothing, man.
I need nothing. The peace is it's unexplainable. Man, we done been around the world. We done did it. We done did the thing, man. You know what I'm saying? We both been in the military. We both probably done traveled on the country a little bit. We probably we've seen things. We've seen the hell of earth. Yeah. Of what this place really is. Like, terrible things, and I don't want it. No, I'm good.
It's been a pleasure having you on, bro.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Thank you, bro.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you, bro.
I appreciate it. I could have probably been here all night.
You know, for real.
But yeah, thanks for coming on. Everybody, please go subscribe to his YouTube channel. Connect with him. He's an amazing dude. Thank you for your time. I appreciate you, man.
Thank you, Jason.
Yeah.